You are live.
Welcome, everyone, to the best sports gambling show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy, and it's Monday. It's a new week, guys. New opportunities, new weeks. Myself and clients are coming off a winning week, and that's the goal. Every week, try to bring in some profits. Time to reset. Time to refocus. Let's get this new week started off in the right way. Let's keep building. Let's keep cashing. Let's keep learning. Gianni's going to join us, tell us where the sharp money is, and we're going to talk social media with Gianni. Something came up over the weekend that I have to talk about with Gianni. I'm also probably going to bring it up with Krackman. Krackman's going to come on and talk MLB, and then we're going to talk with Bryan Leonard. We had to have Bryan Leonard on the show today. That man is 14-1 in his last 7 days. It's an insane run. So we're going to have Bryan Leonard on. We're going to talk to him about his streak. He's going to break down a couple of MLB games for us. So we're going to bring Gianni in. But guys, hit the like button. You guys know what to do. We're going to try and get to 100 likes before the end of the show. Let's make it 105. Let's up it just a little bit. 105 likes. And really, guys, subscribe to the channel. There's so much great content on the WagerTalk channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You get notified when all of these videos get released. You get notified when we go live on WagerTalk Today. So subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Let's not waste any more time. Let's talk to Gianni. Gianni, I had a nice weekend in MMA, and then I looked at you, and I was like, oh, Gianni had a really nice UFC weekend. Congratulations, man. 5% cash, 4% pass. Nice work.
Thank you, brother. Shout out to Block. Welcome to the party, my man. Great Saturday in MMA. In fact, bro, I hit a 9-fighter parlay, a 7-fighter parlay. Everything just fell. I swear to God, bro, I had a parlay that paid a $300 parlay that paid $25,000. The only loser on it was Stolfus. And the crazy part is my girl had a 10-fighter parlay, and on the other side, she had the other side to the Stolfus fight, and she ends up hitting her parlay. The one fight got canceled. She had like the co-main event, like an over-under. But I lose my $25,000 parlay, but she ends up hitting like a $2,500 parlay because she had the other side of that.
Wow.
So it was just one of those days where, I mean, listen, all favorites, only one underdog got there, but you still got to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I was joking with my girl. She's like, oh my God, I hit this. And she's like, but it's all favorites. I'm like, yeah, but you saw that you didn't like any of the dogs except the one dog that you had on there actually hit for her. So it was just one of those days, man. Sometimes it all falls our way. So great day in MMA. Great weekend overall. So yeah, just keep it going now. No NBA today. No NHL today. It's all about baseball. And that's why I've already been firing. I rarely have a package up this early. But like I said, we've been betting baseball since early in the morning and already released some plays to subscribers.
Yeah, I may or may not have paid off my mortgage and then some on Michael Morales by finish over Gilbert Burns. It was that was
and people were betting Burns. Morales went down to like minus 350 from minus 600, 700 just 2 days prior.
I couldn't believe it. I had no idea what everyone saw in Gilbert Burns. My opinion is Michael Morales is the next big thing. This guy is a future champion. Yeah, I can't find holes in this game.
At 24 years old, so he's going to be incrementally getting better every time you see him. Like every time you see him, he's going to look like a new fighter. Now he's gaining experience, but more importantly, he's gaining confidence beating big names. Like again, and it's true, Burns has seen Morales 100 times. He's seen guys with power. He's seen guys with reach. He's seen younger guys. But he was able to just destroy him, dude. So it just shows you how good this kid is. You saw quickly he went through Magny. And, you know, Magny's been a gatekeeper now for a very long time. And he's closed that gate on a lot of up-and-coming contenders, you know?
Yeah, but absolutely.
This kid's legit. He's legit. And Park impressed me a lot. The Asian kid at flyweight, he's going to be a problem. We know Denise Gomes is going to be a problem in the ladies, but that kid Park's going to be a problem, man. He's so well-rounded. I didn't know he had that kind of grappling game to go with his power.
I didn't either. That was the big surprise for me. I didn't expect them to be that good. But yeah, we learned a lot from there. So on Monday, we don't have a ton going on right now. There's no UFC this weekend. There's no NBA and NHL. It doesn't mean there's not a lot of ways to profit off of this card or off of this day. Where's the sharp money at today?
Yeah, it's all in baseball, and I'll give a 3% premium too because it's the first game that goes off. I sent that out to subscribers. We took Pittsburgh at plus money. there's plus 105, plus 103s out there. As long as you're getting plus money, they should be the slight favorite in this game. You see all that line move. We also like the over in that one, but I haven't released that. I did, though, give a 3% on Pittsburgh at plus money. I'll give you a couple more Steam plays from the group that I work with and stuff that I get shared from other guys that move for different groups. Like I said, then I see what I agree with, and those become premium plays. But here's some of the lists that I'm looking at today. I gave you Pittsburgh and over, 956, Colorado, plus 245, all the way down to plus 210. So he's getting hit at plus 235, plus 225, plus 215, plus 210. And sometimes I know it's tough to take those kind of dogs, but anyone who followed me throughout the weekend on the Angels over the Dodgers, that was tough to bet every single day. You're going up against arguably the best team in Major League Baseball, but the money line becomes the great equalizer, just like the point spread becomes the great equalizer in point spread sports. And you're getting plus 200s. You got to win 1 out of 3 times just to break even. And as we talk about all the time, there's not going to be a single team when the season ends that wins 70% of their game. There won't be a single team that wins 67% of their games. There will be one team, maybe 2, that are near that 65% range. So don't be afraid to bet these big dogs. Another one, 962, White Sox, plus 175, 170. Athletics, minus 115, minus 120, minus 125. And then another dog for you, 969, Baltimore, plus 115, plus 110. And the over in that Baltimore game at 8.5. And finally, 968, Boston, plus 125. So a lot of plus money. In fact, every play I gave out so far has been plus money except the Athletics. So dog day afternoon. Let's hope so this evening.
All right, Gianni, we're going to go in a completely different direction. I was doing our live show, UFC, and someone brings up, I swear, people posting these bet slips on social media has bankrupted so many bettors. And somebody in our show brings up Dave Portnoy. So, Dan, can we pull this up? I just assumed that people knew this wasn't real because they're not letting you bet $25,000 on a plus 13.
The only way he bet $25,000 on that is if he's down about $2.5 million lifetime to the property. Seriously, if he's down over 7 figures, they will book that bet out of common courtesy so he doesn't go elsewhere. But otherwise, they're not booking it. There is zero chance they're booking that bet. It's not going to happen. There's just not enough risk on the other side. They can't book the risk on the other side. It's not going to happen.
Gianni, I limit myself to $250 on these domestics on props so I don't get myself limited. So I have to bet like across a bunch. And I was stunned at how many people were like, look, he won. No, he did. They're not taking that bet. I don't know. I think it's an epidemic in the worst way. This posting bet slips and stuff like this on social media. How do we ignore it? How do we just not let this focus, not let this affect us?
We deserve it, bro. We deserve it. The market deserves it. Why? Because that's going to get all the views. It's going to get all the likes. When the only question should be, how are you doing in 2025? Where are you at in 2025? I don't give a shit about your bet last night. How are you doing this year? How did you do last year? How'd you do the year before? You're a guy that bets every day. You talk about bet gambling. You obviously file taxes. You know how you've done. Show us though, if you're going to show us the slips and you're going to promote, because that's what you're pushing. You're promoting big winning bets. Then you got to zoom out. We, the market, don't demand it. That's the problem. We follow these influencers that show this bullshit lifestyle that doesn't exist for anybody. And they definitely didn't make their money by beating the books. That much I can promise you. They're not betting those figures because they're up all this money on the books or anything like that. But again, it's social media. It's a fake world, just like, Instagram and Twitter and all of those. It's just a fake reality. It's not reality. And not only has that destroyed people mentally, It's the most depressed. I mean, this is the most prosperous the world has ever been. And yet it's also the most depressed and the highest rate of people on antidepressants in the history of mankind. And what does that? It's social media. Why? Because you're comparing your life to bullshit, to fakeness.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yes.
You can't win. You can't win. That's why the divorce rate is high. That's why people cheat. That's because they think they have options. They think there's this fake like reality that doesn't exist for anybody. I'm telling you, like, no, everybody's just showing their best life. You know what I mean? Like, no one's showing the reality of a real life. They're just showing clips, and most of it is fake. Most of it is skits. You know what I mean? It's just not real life, bro. But unfortunately, this is what we're consuming every single day. And we're all, myself included, we're all brainwashed because that's what we do. We compare our lives to what we see on the screen, and you're never going to win. You can't win. The internet's undefeated. And that lifestyle being portrayed is the exact same way. And I think it's done the worst thing for society. And of course, it's going to do it in micro also, not just the macro, which is the world, but it's doing it in separate market. Look at sports betting. It's destroyed. Yeah. We thought the industry was bad when people were lying about their results and selling, 1-900 numbers. This is that was nothing compared to the stuff that's going on, scamming these young kids that are coming in. Like they're seeing a reality that doesn't exist, Andy. It does not exist. Like they're starting from so far behind the 8 ball because they're creating this reality that's never going to be attainable. Just like you can't attain that reality in real life, you can't attain it in sports betting. Like, you're not going to win at those kind of crazy rates. You're not going to like get rich placing those same game 8-player parlays and 8-game parlays and all that shit that they're promoting. Sad.
I'm going to do my week recap at the end of the show, and we're up like 3 units, and that's just not sexy. That's not getting a lot of clicks on social media. But guess what? Adds
it's the reality, though.
That's how you build a bankroll.
3 a week. Are you kidding me? That's 150 units at the end of a year. Coming up 150 units at the end of the years are you, dude? Again, what world are we living in that's not impressive?
I did the math on this. If you start with $1,000 and you make 3 units a week, in 4 years you'll have $1 million without depositing any money into it. If you just do three a week. So it was interesting. I was stunned how many people thought it was real, and it just really kind of stunned me and opened my eyes to, wow, this is what we're fighting. Like, we try to talk about our wins and our losses, and this is what we're up against. So it's big on the mindset. So appreciate that commentary, Gianni, because when I heard that, I was like, I have to ask Gianni about this.
Yeah, it's just nonsense, bro. I live in the real world, bro. I see the few people out here that actually make their living betting sports. That ain't it. I know. Well, I got a lot of topics to talk about this week. We got some really, really good ones. I can't wait to explore. Crush it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell everyone what you have up at WagerTalk.
Already, the Major League package. I'm going to put everything in there. Again, we're not going heavy volume, but baseball is the only sport we're going to be betting today. Multiple 4% best bets in there. Still number 1 overall in the baseball season, up in Major League Baseball and up in baseball overall, along with the college and sometimes those AAAs that come at us. So, let's start the week off winning, coming off a nice couple days. And up for the year, that's where we want to be. Let's just keep going. Tomorrow's the second to the last class of blackjack. So if you signed up for the year, I know a couple guys jumped on this weekend. Make sure you get the other 7 classes. Johnny's and WagerTalk is handling that really well to make sure everybody has access to that information. So looking forward to tomorrow's second to last class.
Awesome stuff, Gianni. Thank you so much, brother. I always love talking to you. Have a great Monday. All around the world, we do some free plays. A lot of these are on the free picks page at WagerTalk. So if you want to see some of the plays that the handicappers up, maybe it points you in the right direction. We got a few of them here. So Dan, let's take a trip. We got a new graphic. Yeah. Yes. I love this. We're going all around the world, guys. Let's take a look at the Mariners, -1.5 over the White Sox. Mariners just swept San Diego. White Sox were just swept by the Cubs. They did not score more than 3 runs in any game. Castillo going for Seattle, allowed 1 run or none in 3 of his last 4 starts. Let's take a look at a player prop. Brandon Pfaadt over 4.5 strikeouts. 23 strikeouts and 18 innings against the Dodgers, over this total in 10 out of his last 15 starts. Let's go to the WNBA. Seattle Storm under 84.5 on the team total. They only scored 59 points in the first game, 3 of 17 from threes. Pretty slow pace of play. They play the Wings. The Wings gave up 99 in their first game, but that was against the Lynx, and the Lynx are really good. So Mariners -1.5, fought over 4.5 strikeouts, and Seattle Storm under team total. That is your all around the world. We're still running the same specials we were running last week, guys. 3 days for $49. I know a lot of you got our 3-day special on Friday. That worked out really well mostly because of what we did in MMA. Pick any handicapper. You get 3 days discounted down to $49. If you are interested in more long-term results, we do have the year special that is still up. $811 discounted immediately, and you get that 25% coupon that goes for any package, any play, for any other handicapper for the duration of those 365 days. I'm actually meeting up with somebody on Thursday to talk about long-term investing, and we're going to get him set up with that. So exciting things like Gianni and I talked about. Like, this is a business, and the way you do it is investing long-term and grinding out these 3 units per week. So if you want to take advantage of that, I would encourage everyone to jump on board over at the deals page over at WagerTalk. And again, like the video, guys, we're creeping up on the likes, and subscribe to the channel. Really trying to work on getting as many people subscribed so that way you guys get notified when all these videos come out. So take advantage of everything. And it's tennis time for us. The French Open is right around the corner. This is where we do damage. You guys have been following us. You know Corbin crushes tennis. He's the tennis department at our team, the Winning in the Shadows, and the majors. It's where he does all his damage. So we're doing a 30-day tennis special. It's going to be discounted $20. You're going to get all plays for 30 days, and that includes the French Open. That's what we're gearing up for. 176 units lifetime. And last year's majors, he went 49-26 for plus 24 units just in the 4 majors. So this is a big source of building our bankroll. I'm a flat better. I bet more on Corbin's tennis plays. So take advantage of that. The qualifications are this week, and then it starts on Sunday, I believe. So take advantage of that. Tennis is where we do a lot of damage. He's up over 40 units this year alone in tennis. So you can grab that wt.buzz/AL. All right, let's bring in Bill Krackman. We're going to talk a little MLB, and we're also going to talk a little bit of props. Bill, hope you had a great weekend, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I had a really good weekend. I had a really good week, actually. Major League Baseball started out a little bit slower this year, but this past week now, I mean, we're 20-6 in our last 26 plays. So,
wow,
winning 20 out of 26 is a nice way to get this Major League Baseball off the schneid. And of course, I look forward to that continued success there. But I'm also betting some other things like golf, and looking forward to NBA props still. We're still going strong with them, Major League Baseball props. But things are going well. All right, Andy, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Looking at any MLB props for today? Anything jump off the page for you?
Yeah, and that's another thing too. You could go to all these different sites now, and what a difference! Because someone asked me something, and he said, "Hey, where are you getting these Major League Baseball props?" Let me just tell you, living here in Las Vegas or anywhere in the country now, you have FanDuels and DraftKings and all over the country. BetMGMs, you have Caesars brand, Westgate puts some prop. There's a lot of places now that are putting these Major League Baseball props up. So today I'm looking at the Phillies starting pitcher, Christopher Sanchez. I'm going with over 5.5 strikeouts for him for a few reasons, though. One, he has the best strikeout rate so far, one of the best this season at 29%. Secondly, he is up against the Rockies lineup today, who has been terrible this season against lefties. They had the second highest strikeout rate this season against southpaws. I know the Rockies are playing a little bit better as of late, but they have to return to the mean a little bit. They were stuck at like 6 wins for a while, like worst team in baseball. So, but today we are going with the over Sanchez over 5.5 strikeouts. That's good to about $1.65, or you can even take over 6.5 at plus 125 or better.
I love it. You and I have a passion for betting props. It's where I do pretty much all of my damage. I love the NBA, NHL, and I remember when I first started doing props at WagerTalk, it was kind of under the radar a little bit. Not so much anymore. You like you mentioned, you can get a lot down on props. I used to not be able to bet a whole lot. I really didn't, and now they're kind of available everywhere. Have you seen the evolution of prop betting?
Yeah, the average, first of all, the average bet in this country is actually under $100. So it's not like you or I were, I'm trying to get down as much money as I can on player props. So here in Vegas, I have like Westgate, Circa, and let me be blunt. I've been thrown out of many sportsbook like Stations and Caesars for using my brain. So, but they can't stop me. I'm always going to beard back in. I mean, I always tell them how silly it is. But those places have thrown me out for winning, but winning on props also. But I like the NFL season too, where it's a little bit more. You understand, NFL season has a lot more money in the market, so kind of the risk managers maybe don't look so much to the props and say, "Oh my God, these guys are killing us," because there's not so many like literally microscopes on your accounts during the NFL when the public is just giving the sports books money. The player props, even team props, over under punch, shortest touchdown scored in the NBA and Major League Baseball. I mostly stick to the player props. They're the ones I actually do want to play and want to get down on. Pitcher props, like I just gave you in Major League Baseball, I look at their recent form, their velocity, and the spin rate, believe it or not, too. It's something we look at. It's kind of, like I always tell people, you don't have to worry about that. Don't even get in that. It's a little bit analytical, detailed. Leave that to us, and we'll just give you the play. Isn't it great they can work 40, 50 hours a week? They don't have to do the research. Leave that to guys like me and you. And it's just, looking at their lineup, facing into account when they're looking at these pictures. Like there's so many different things you put into it. You don't just say, "Oh, I like that pitcher. He strikes out a lot of people. Oh, let's put that up." No, there's a lot more that go into it. And it's interesting how we have evolved. I've been doing this, almost 30 years professionally. And I see that from back then to now, literally nobody had props up. Now it's a daily thing, BetMGM is one of the sponsors of my big Fox show on the weekend. And I cannot believe, I was just telling the director of risk, they had 150 different ways to bet the basketball game yesterday. 150. Yes. I mean, that's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
I counted them up, 150 different kind of bets for an NBA game. Most of them being props. And I like to bet into two-way markets too. Like, not just, I don't like when a sports book just puts up one way, because that means it's a giant hold. So I like to be, I like betting season wins as they get adjusted every week. Baseball season wins as they get adjusted. MGM, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, they all do them. So, but like I said, the average bet is like $100 in this country, under 100 actually. So people can get down on these props and can get down on these baseball props and NFL props when we get into it, where I myself have a little bit harder of a time. So I don't front run customers. I'm going to put up an obtainable line at all times. And, I'm going to talk from a serious standpoint, not like what you and Gianni were just talking about, these people on social media, these kids that are impressed by, having a hot girl on your arm and a beautiful car, and anyone can have that fugazi stuff. And trust me, that is fugazi stuff. We're real.
You've been on a nice run in MLB. Have you been like riding a couple certain teams or trends? What's been working for you?
Not a trend. No, not though. It's funny. I almost spat out there. I'm not a trend guy. If I had to pick a sport that would be trendy, it would be baseball. But I am not a trend guy. I don't go by trends, especially you see these handicappers say, "Oh, this team over the last 7 seasons in this situation, they're 13-1." Well, I don't care about the situations with squads that weren't even the same teams over the last 6 seasons. I want to know about this season. I want to know what's going on now. So, but that's what happens with all these networks, ESPN and all the networks. They're full of fluff. They have nothing else to talk about. They can't talk about real information because they don't have it. They're not winning sports bettors. They may give out games and give out things, and that goes for everyone. You think you guys were talking about Portnoy before. Listen, I know he does a lot of good for the community, and he's in there and he helps people out. He pays them, helps them out. I mean, to get them money. And I know he helps their businesses out because he promotes them. But I want to tell you something, though. He's not a winning gambler. And
No.
of course, by the way, those bets are real. Those bets are absolutely real. DraftKings is taking his bets, absolutely. And why? A, yes, long-term he's a losing gambler, even though he's actually on a little bit of a run here these past 6 months, I'm hearing. B, and more importantly, the more important thing, this should be A. Of course they're going to take those bets in there. He puts so many stoolies into DraftKings. Do you know the hold of a Barstool customer compared to Joe Public? Let's start with this. In Las Vegas, the hold is about 6% of the customer, the money that's bet through the counter. That sometimes less monthly. Let's use 6%. 6% in Nevada. New Jersey's about 10%. Now you go over to the Barstool guys that bet. Oh my God. Bombs over Tokyo. 20% of the money that goes through the counter, and I mean through the apps, are kept of the Barstool crowd. Of course, DraftKings is going to give him anything he wants. Of course, they're going to promote anything he says. They're the highest rate, over 3 times the hold of a Las Vegas customer, the Barstool guys. So you tell me their intelligence level.
Amazing. Bill, thank you so much for all your knowledge and your wisdom. I can't wait to meet up with you in person next time I'm in Vegas, man. I wanted to pick your brain about a lot. And I got to tell you, did you happen to catch that ESPN bet golf show this weekend at the PGA Championship? It was really good. They did a great job with it. It was great. I couldn't believe it. It was on ESPN Plus. It was funny. It was entertaining. Of course, they all lost, but the content was really good.
If you can make things relatable, entertaining, funny, that's really important. But as long as the people watching know that they've killed more people than many diseases, then that's fine. But I have to tell you, I'm not trying to down ESPN on everything. It is what it is, and I know a lot of those people on there too. They're actually nice people, some of them, but they're long term. They're nobody's winning. No one's actually winning betting that stuff. But hey, if it's fun, there's a price on being entertained. So you want to have fun with it and be entertained. That's great. If you want winners, you come over here and you join us for the winners. So money, literally, money is everything when it comes to a life. And I say everything. People always say money is not everything. Well, most of those people say that because they don't have any. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or nothing. I'm just saying money, of course, it can't help everything in life. I understand. But I'll tell you what, it certainly helps most. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so anyway, as long as people have fun and watch that stuff, just know you're being entertained. This stuff, listen, I have a little beef against ESPN. They fired my best friend. So they fired Teddy Atlas. They fired Howie Schwab years ago. These guys are guys that were my guys. So, and then they want to say, oh, poor Howie, I'm so sorry he passed. And our esteemed colleague, yeah, give it a break, ESPN. That's what I feel about you guys.
Bill, tell her what you have up at Wager Talk, True Gem.
Yeah, let's go to the site, because I always say how bad I am at promoting myself here. 2 top-rated Major League Baseball strikeout props, and over 62% so far this season on these. 11-3 run on the pass prop, 19-5 run on baseball on Wager Talk. Major League Baseball pitching props this season going 38-23 so far. Looks like we got some things up there, 2 pitcher props up, some other things. We still have this. I know it's tough for people to join for a whole season now. You think now or in May, why are you going to sign up for a whole season? Well, at Wager Talk, it's probably my beef with them. They put up some things for me for the season. They're giving away some unbelievable deals over on WagerTalk.com. You can just click on my link, click on my bio, and they're really giving really good deals on my season stuff. And you could buy right now through the end of the NFL season for about 1/3 of what the price is going to be come NFL season. That includes all my preseason, all my NFL props. Never had a losing NFL season. That's how good the props are, and preseason just ridiculous. So join me over there, and thanks for having me on, Andy. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, Bill. Have a great one. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, listen, Titans, it's fine. Yeah, we can address that. Titan says no disrespect to Andy. Half the show's talking about things. The show used to be great. Now it's okay. Just my opinion. Yeah, and Johnny said, like, listen, guys, we get the analytics say everything to us. You guys are telling us that you like hearing bigger picture things, gambling theories and strategies. The views don't go up when we talk about free picks. So it's literally the data and the numbers that we get. So we're just going to be trying a bunch of new things, and we're going to really try and make you guys better at what we do here at handicapping. So I appreciate the feedback, guys. Like I said, for about a month, we're just going to try a bunch of things. We'll get the numbers, and we'll see how everything shakes out. So I appreciate the feedback, guys. That's the only way that we know what works and what's going to get better. So Titans, love you. No offense no offense here at all. So no, Justin, the YouTube analytics, we literally can go in and look at the show and see when people stop watching and when they watch more. Like, we can see everything in YouTube. So like, we get feedback from people, but we also, like, the analytics just tell us everything. The YouTube analytics are so detailed. It's really it's crazy. So and yeah, that's the thing. There's so many pick shows. Like, we have a million pick videos on WagerTalk. If you want really specific plays, like, yeah, we can talk about that. We try to talk about some specific ones on the show, but there's just not too many shows where people actually bet with their own money and do this for a living. I mean, we just started off the show with myself, Gianni, and Bill. Like, we bet every single day. We have started with no money, and we built our bankrolls up. So this information is invaluable. So not trying to toot our own horn, but there's not many shows where you can have 3 successful guys that do this for a living. So we're also going to bring in Bryan Leonard, make it 4 guys that do this for a living. But please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's bring in Bryan, man. This is an insane run that Mr. Bryan Leonard is on. Dude, 14-1 in the last 7 days?
14-1 over the last week. Number 1 at overall, last 7 days, number 1 in baseball, 10-1 in baseball.
Amazing.
And it's just one of those streaks that doesn't come around all the time. So we all know about that. So we got to take advantage of it when it does. And luckily we've been putting out bigger plays when we win. And when we're not winning, I give out less star plays, a lot of 1.5 stars. So yeah, that way we can promote when we do well, and when we are not doing well, we limit our exposure. And that's really what you're doing when you're betting also. If you're seeing the card well, you want to up your bets. If you're not seeing it well, you downsize your bets. And I am on the Total Bases is now Monday through Friday. That's their baseball show with myself, Adam Trigger, and Tokyo Brandon. Today was our first day. We've decided to go Monday through Friday. So we were doing 3 days a week. Great demand for it, and everybody said they wanted 7. Of course, we'd like to have a day off, especially for me, because I'm doing it at 6 a.m. out here in Pacific, in Las Vegas. But Monday through Friday, and we talked about a lot of the games today. I do have 2 plays we're going to give out here, and these I specifically left off the earlier show. That way, when you go back and you rewatch the earlier show, you can get other opinions on other games. But yeah, it's been going great. Everything's working out really well, and excited for another day of baseball.
Well, let's get into it. Let's break down a couple of games. Let's start with the Reds and the Pirates. You got Lodolo for Cincy, Keller for the Pirates. How do you see this game?
Yeah, I sent these in a little bit earlier, so the lines have moved a little bit. But at the time, we understood why the Reds had been sold as the road favorite. Gianni kind of talked about this. He was on the Pittsburgh side, and we just don't agree with it. I agree with Gianni on this. Yes, Nick Lodolo is the more talented hurler, but he's always had trouble staying healthy. In the last 2.25 seasons, he's only thrown over 220 total innings. His career ERA is a pedestrian 4.33 with less than a stellar 1.26 career whip, while his chase rate is in the 90th percentile and his walk rate is in the 93rd percentile. All of his other StatCast numbers are league average or worse. But the main reason why we want to fade Cincinnati here is their bullpen is totally ravaged. Paganis and Santillan are out after pitching the last 3 days. Ashcroft pitched 2 of the last 3 days over the weekend, along with Rogers and May. So those are other guys that probably won't be pitching tonight. Brent Suter was forced to throw 47 pitches 2 days ago. All this means Cincinnati is forced to keep the often injured Nick Lodolo in the game, regardless of his success. He's got to give them at least 6 innings tonight because that bullpen is really worn out. And, thanks to Paul Skeens and his complete game yesterday, the entire bullpen is available. While Mitch Keller grades out as a journeyman pitcher, he does rack up innings, over 370 combined innings the last 2 years. And with both teams in the lower half of WRC plus offensive numbers on the season, I'll step out here and I'll play the Pirates with that huge advantage in the bullpen for this play.
Love it. Let's talk about the Royals and the Giants. I looked this up. I had to like double and triple check this. So Ray is going for San Francisco. San Francisco's 9-0 in games that he started this year. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yep, he's been a moneymaker. He's 6-0 for himself and 9-0 for the team. And before we get started, I do want to. I mentioned this on the other show. I always talk about when you're looking to fade left-handers. Major League Baseball hitters only face lefties about 30% of the time, so they don't see them very often. We've got 2 lefties going today, and 2 lefties that are pretty good for Kansas City and San Francisco. There's only there's 30 teams in Major League Baseball. There's only 3 teams right now that have a winning record against left-handed starters. So it's something to keep in mind as you handicap on your own. Some information that a lot of people wouldn't tell you, information that helps us make money. But 2 of our favorite southpaws do battle tonight in the Bay Area. Chris Bubik's been having an outstanding season after coming out of the bullpen all 27 times a year ago. He has a 4-2 record, outstanding 1.66 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. Now his expected ERA is 3.15, so we can't expect some negative regression along the way, but he's still been very impressive with his base numbers. He's in the 78th percentile or better in average exit velocity, chase rate, whiff percentage, and extension. The best 4 arms in the KC bullpen had to be used last night, but Estevez and Urseg had the previous day off. That's their 8th and 9th inning guys. The Royals offense has struggled this year with a WRC plus of 81, which is 4th worst in the league. Giants, on the other hand, come in at 98, which is 2% below league average. Kansas City's 4-4 on the season versus lefties. The Giants are only 4-10 versus southpaws. That's compared to 24-9 versus right-handed starters. San Francisco sends Robbie Ray to the mound with a 6-0 record, 3.03 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. His expected ERA comes at 3.38. So while he does have some positive base stats, I'm concerned about his 12th percentile hard hit rate and 12th percentile walk rate. Robbie Ray has always walked a lot of batters. He's had control issues. Those are 2 things that do concern me, and one of the reasons why that 9-0 is a little bit surprising to both of us with the games that he starts. That said, the Giants bullpen enters play in pretty good shape, so I'm looking to fade these 2 offenses and play this game under the posted total. It's been bouncing back between 7 and 7.5 all day, so there's 2 syndicates out there with different feelings on this game, but we like the under. We're going to play this game under, and yes, I do have a 5% going today in Major League Baseball, 14-1 overall run. You can pick that up, or Adam Trigger's also got a big 5% play today, and we've got a special with the girls in the office. You can pick up both those plays for only $49. Save yourself, instead of paying $70, you're paying $49. You get them both. That's a hell of a deal for both of us. And he had a perfect weekend, I believe he said, real big weekend. And as you could tell, we've been on a really hot run as of late.
That's great stuff. Brian, talk again real quick about you said something really important about it's the opposite of chasing. When you're not running well, just lower the amount of plays. When you're seeing it well, you increase it. I feel like everybody gets cooked when they're losing, and we chase and we try and get it all back. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, normally they do just the opposite. And, when we were starting out, I've been doing it for over 40 years. You're still a young guy, but you made mistakes like that. I would get together with my buddies and I would lose. And, we joke, we play, okay, we're going to play every road favorite on the board today. Just stupid shit that you would never do now that you're treating it as a business. So, if you're seeing the card well, bet more. Obviously, if you're winning, you're seeing the card well. But if you're not, play less. A lot of people don't want to take days off. I take a lot of days off. There's probably 3 or 4 days a month I take off and don't give my clients anything if I just am not running well and I don't see it well. But we've been doing very well in underdogs. I always play a lot of underdogs. And when I talk underdogs in Major League Baseball, I'm talking plus money underdogs. So over the last 12 plays I've had in Major League Baseball, 7 of those give you a plus money payback. We had like a plus 168 the other day. So it's not like we're 14-1 playing a lot of big favorites. I don't do that. So that's something to keep in mind. So our profit is even higher. But a lot of the things that I look at is it's obvious certain teams just don't have it. And the Baltimore Orioles are one of them. They were a team that came into the season, did not do anything from the management standpoint to help improve their pitching staff. And now they've gone through a lot of injuries. Their best pitcher coming into the season hasn't pitched all year. Their number 2 pitcher pitched yesterday, but he's been hurt and he got bombed on his first game back. But Baltimore is not playing well, and yet they continue to make them as a favorite. And it's just something, you watch the games, you could tell they're not playing well. Normally when coaches are fired, and there's been 3 coaches fired this year, Colorado and Pittsburgh and Baltimore. None of them were fired because of the coaching. They were fired because the players aren't any good and management doesn't want to take the blame. That is why normally when Dave Coken was around, our dearly departed buddy, he would play teams after they fired coaches. Well, he'd be in bad shape following these 3 after firing coaches because they just don't have the players.
Yeah.
So I've been able to take advantage of the Orioles on a regular basis. And once again, they're in one of those positions today where I couldn't put my money on them, but I've had a lot of success going against them. But you're able to find that out with your own eyes. I watch a lot of baseball, and you can look through the box scores, and you can tell, when your team's best players are slumping, like the Houston Astros, their best players out of the lineup. Texas Rangers, the best players out of the lineup. Those are games that you're going to want to take a look at the unders or find other ways to play those team totals under.
Love it, Bryan Leonard. That's great stuff. A couple of free plays, and don't forget to get that 5% play from Bryan Leonard. And running that special, you can get his and Adam Triggers for one price, $49. Congratulations on the big run, Bryan. Keep it up. Good luck tonight. Let's cash that big one, man.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Every Monday, we're going to go over how the week went for clients. It lets you guys see how we do our bankroll reset. So Dan, if we can pull up that graphic, we go through all of our sports. We show you how much we made, what we did good on. So you can see MLB was the big loser for us this week. NBA were up a little bit, NHL up, soccer, MMA was a nice one. We cashed in NASCAR last night. Golf was frustrating. We lost 2 plays in golf that I'm absolutely sick of. Tennis was a big one. That's why we bring up that tennis special, guys. Don't mess around. Go get that tennis special. That is like one of the biggest money makers that we have as a team at winning in the shadows. So no cricket plays. Lacrosse went 1-1. Dan is furious about what happened with lacrosse this weekend. So overall, 25-20. We brought in 3 units. If you're flat betting 2%, we brought in 3.8 units. We do this every Monday. You've got to look at the sports that you did good in and what you didn't do good in, and do a little deep dive and figure out what went wrong, and let's capitalize it. So we're seeing NBA really well. The first round NBA playoffs sucked for myself. It's been really good ever since then. So we have an NBA play that is up. Encourage everyone to go get that play. The line was insanely good on the NBA play. So that is a play that is up, and the tennis special as well. Get 30 days. So anytime a tennis major comes up, we're just super excited because I know money's going to be rolling in. So, that's going to do it here for us. I love the comments about the Royals team total under, just blindly taking the Royals team total under. I love plays like that. I love plays that just rinse and repeat. Bill said he's not a trend handicapper. I am. I love trends like that. If I can take the same play and go 7-2, 6-1, those are the kind of streaks that I'm looking for. So shout out to GTV. That's a really, really good one. So, all right, guys, hit the like button. Pretty quick show for us today. Tomorrow we're going to do it again. Remember, just because there's no NHL, no NBA tonight, doesn't mean you have to force bets in there. Let's protect our bankrolls. Let's protect our profits. We're all trying to get better as a team here. Take advantage of that tennis special. Take advantage of the NBA play that we have up. We're going to do it again first thing Tuesday morning. Good luck on all your plays, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.